This case just took a shocking turn. Just when it looked like Johnson was about to walk free, everything got stopped. And I mean completely stopped. No hearing, no release, no movement at all. So what really happened? Let's break it down in simple terms so you understand everything clearly. At first, things were looking good for Johnson. The appellate court had already ruled in her favor. That decision gave her a real chance to be released before trial. People were expecting a hearing. Some even believed she could be home very soon. But then, out of nowhere, the state stepped in. They filed a motion to pause everything. And the court agreed. That one decision changed everything. Now here's the key point. The original ruling still exists, but it's frozen. It's like hitting the pause button on a video. Nothing moves forward until the next step is decided. Because of this, the April 27th hearing? Cancelled. No bond discussion. No release decision. Nothing. Everything is now on hold. And that's why this moment is so important. Because now, the case is moving to a higher level, the Illinois Supreme Court. And this is where things get serious. The state is expected to file something called a petition for leave to appeal. This is basically asking the Supreme Court to step in and take control of the case. Now, there are only two possible outcomes from here. First option, the Supreme Court takes the case. If that happens, the pause stays in place. Johnson remains in custody, and the case could take months before any final decision is made. Second option, the Supreme Court refuses to take the case. If that happens, everything flips again. The pause gets removed. The earlier ruling comes back, and the lower court must move forward with a release decision. So no, Johnson did not lose her appeal, but her win is now delayed. She was close to release, very close. But now, the road is blocked. Not closed, just blocked. And only the Supreme Court can decide what happens next. Now here's something interesting. One of the judges, Raymond Mitchell, actually disagreed with the original decision. He didn't support releasing Johnson, but even he agreed to pause the case. That tells you how serious the situation is. When judges on both sides agree to slow things down, it means there's more at stake behind the scenes. So now, everything comes down to one question. Will the Supreme Court take this case or not? That answer will decide everything. Until then, Johnson stays in custody. The timeline has changed. The outcome is uncertain. And the case is far from over. The play starts with Mercer open on the right side. The pass goes to him, and in that moment, everything looks set for an easy score. But suddenly, out of nowhere, comes an unbelievable defensive moment. What a play. Truly, what a defensive effort. It's not just a block, it's a two-hand steal and block combined. Something you don't see every day. The timing, the speed, the awareness, it's all perfect. The game is basically decided in that instant. Magic. That's the only word that fits. And at the center of it all is Michael Jordan, showing once again why he is considered one of the greatest players of all time. Look closely at that moment. He doesn't give up on the play, not even for a second. Even when it seems like the opponent has a clear path, he pushes forward with full effort. He jumps, reaches, and slams the ball against the board with authority. It's a reminder that great players don't stop. They fight until the very last second. That's exactly what makes moments like this unforgettable. It's not just talent. It's determination, mindset, and heart. What a play indeed. Now, shifting from the court to the courtroom, we move into a completely different kind of drama, but one that is just as intense. Just when it seemed like Johnson might finally be heading toward pretrial release, everything suddenly came to a stop. What looked like progress quickly turned into another delay. A new order from the Illinois Appellate Court has stepped in and completely paused the process. This unexpected move has changed everything, especially the timeline of the case. This situation really shows the power of legal decisions. One signature, one order, and everything changes. Plans get canceled, expectations shift, and the entire direction of the case is affected. When things get complicated like this, it becomes important to slow down and understand what is really happening. So let's break it down clearly step by step, because there is a lot of confusion right now. Earlier, the appellate court had ruled in favor of Quadajah Johnson. That decision meant that the lower court led by Judge Michael Clancy, would need to reconsider whether she should stay in custody or be released before trial. It looked like a major step forward for her. Many people believed that a release hearing was coming soon and that there was a real chance she could go home while waiting for trial. But now, that earlier ruling has been temporarily frozen. What happened is that the state requested something called a stay, and the appellate court agreed. This means that even though the original decision still exists, it cannot be acted on right now. It's like pressing a pause button. Nothing moves forward until the next legal step is completed. Because of this, the expected release hearing is no longer happening. The April 27th date that many people were watching closely is now canceled. There will be no discussion about bond conditions, no decisions about release, and no immediate path out of custody for Johnson at this time. Everything is now on hold. Judge Clancy, who would normally handle the next steps, cannot take any action based on the appellate ruling. His hands are tied for now. The entire process is waiting for a higher court to step in and decide what happens next. Now here's an interesting detail that stands out. One of the appellate judges, presiding Justice Raymond Mitchell, had originally disagreed with the decision that favored Johnson. He wrote a dissent, meaning he did not agree with the majority opinion. He made it clear that he had concerns about releasing her and explained his reasoning in detail. But even though he disagreed with the original ruling, he still agreed to pause the case. He signed off on the stay. This doesn't mean he changed his opinion. It simply means he believes the situation should be reviewed by a higher court before any action is taken. That's an important point because it shows that even judges with different views can agree on slowing things down when necessary. Justice Mitchell had already expressed that releasing Johnson did not sit well with him. He believed there were issues that needed more attention. In simple terms, he felt that something wasn't quite right. Even so, he followed the legal process and supported the decision to pause everything until further review. So, what happens next? The case is now moving to the Illinois Supreme Court. The state is expected to file a request known as a petition for leave to appeal, often shortened to PLA. This is basically asking the Supreme Court to review the case and make a final decision. From here, there are two possible outcomes. First, the Supreme Court could decide to take the case. If that happens, the pause will remain in place. Johnson will stay in custody while the court reviews everything. This process could take a long time, possibly several months, before a final decision is made. The second possibility is that the Supreme Court declines to take the case. If that happens, the pause will be lifted. The earlier appellate ruling will go back into effect, and the lower court will be required to move forward with release decisions. That means a hearing could be scheduled again, and Johnson could have another chance at pretrial release. So, does this mean Johnson lost her appeal? No, not at all. What it means is that her win is currently on hold. She was moving toward a possible release, but that progress has been paused before it could actually happen. The opportunity is still there, it's just delayed. Think of it like a road. Johnson was traveling toward a destination, and everything was moving forward. Now there's a roadblock. The road isn't closed forever, but she cannot move forward until that block is removed. And the only ones who can remove it right now are the judges of the Illinois Supreme Court. Until then, everything remains uncertain. For now, Johnson stays in custody. The timeline has shifted. The next steps depend entirely on what the higher court decides to do.